Hey, this is the rental property mistake that's rocking your profit, bro. You want to know why you barely making anything off your rental properties? Listen, I'm gonna go into a few. Stay to the end of the video, bro, because I'm gonna get you the solutions as well. All right, so check this out, right? So with the rental property thing, right? What I've noticed, I've been a landlord since 2008, okay? I've been a landlord since 2008. I've been involved in real estate since 2007. I've been doing real estate full-time since September of 2012 when I got fired from my job, okay? So, a huge mistake is buying low cash flow performing properties. Okay, let me break that down. That $200 a door situation. That $200 a door situation might work for some people, but that does not work for everybody. What is the $200 a door situation? Basically, for a rental property, you want to cash flow at least $200 a month, bruh. You know what I mean? I have done that before in neighborhoods on the outskirts of downtown that I knew was going to pop off, but I'm not going to recommend that y'all go out there and buy properties based off $200 a door, especially when your goal is to leave your job or something of that nature. You need to start looking for deals, right? Deals that are making at least $500 a door. That way, if you're grossing $6,000 a year and you got you had to make you had some expenses that year for $2,000, well, you still made $4,000 a year. However, that same situation, $200 a door, well, you gross $2,400 in profit and cash flow for the year. You got an expense for $2,000. You only made $400 for the year, and you like, yo, what the hell? So you want to buy properties that have a nice amount of cash flow, ideally $400 to $500. All right. Now, are these deals everywhere? Absolutely not. You have to go dig deep and find them. Okay, what is another issue that's destroying your cash flow? Another issue that's destroying your cash flow is property management. Not all property management is good. Some property managers will charge you for everything, okay? And then sometimes they have the contractors in-house, sometimes they don't. But those ones who have the contractors in-house to fix up your property when something go wrong, bruh, it's like, bruh, they 3 times the amount. It don't matter if you out of state or if you local. You know, something that you be like, yeah, I could have got that done for $275. They gonna charge you $575 for. You know, it's like these contractors have this person owns a property and they got property management, and let me mark this bill up. You know what I mean? They got money. No, that's not the case. Most landlords are mom and pop owners, okay? Most landlords are not out here thriving and riding around in $100,000 cars. No, they are just getting by, all right? Now, I want you to remember this. Real estate is not get rich quick, all right? Especially rentals, all right? That's long-term wealth, all right? Real estate is long-term wealth, right? After you start stacking these rental properties, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, then you turn around and you're like, oh, damn, I make 6 figures whether I get out of bed or not. You know what I mean? But that's long term. That doesn't happen in one property normally, right? So with that being said, I'm talking about residential real estate. All right, let's go back to property management. All right, now you want to properly vet your property management. You want to make sure they've been in business for at least 5 years. You want to ask them, how do they pay? All right. Now, if they say, you ask about late fees, who gets the late fee? Normally they get the late fee. That's fine. But ask them how do they pay and when do they pay, right? They say, payments get cut on the 15th or the 20th, as long as they have a date for that, right? That means they got their accountant in order. But if they say something like, oh, once we get paid, we pay you, that's an accountant nightmare. They don't know what they're doing, man. I'm going to suggest you go somewhere else, right? Another thing. Do they charge you, right? Ask them about their fees and the things they charge you for, etc. If they charge you, right, annually, right, for to renew the lease. Like I had a property management company, they would charge me $100 every year to renew the lease. Basically what they do was send the tenant a DocuSign when the lease is over and have them sign it. So now y'all both locked in. That cost me $100 to send the email. Bruh, nah, we not doing that. Nah, you're not going to nitpick me. So I eventually ended up getting rid of them because they had other fees. Some property management will charge you if your property is vacant. They will still charge their 10% fee. Okay? Come on, bruh. Some property management hire an attorney to do their evictions. All right? You want a property management that do their evictions in-house. All right? So listen, guys, these are things that you want to look for when buying a rental property, right? Now, if you're going to self-manage, that's fine, but you make sure you take out the 8 to 10% of how much a rental property management would cost, because that's still a job. All right. Like even if you don't take it physically, make sure you run it through the numbers to make sure it still works. All right. So my property management, they get half of the first month rent. So the rent is $1,300. They'll get half of that, right? And the reason why they get half of that is because for marketing fee. I'm fine with that. And then since I gave them multiple properties, they get 8% a month. All right. Some people want 8%, some people want 10%, some people want 12%. Those rates are negotiable, right? On what you can get. All right. So keep that in mind. These are the things that you look for, right? Because I've seen people pick bad property management companies, and they get out of being a landlord. All right. The property management company has to have a good screening process, because if not, bro, that will destroy your real estate rental, bro. Like, I get hood properties, aka a lot of C and D properties. That's what I feel comfortable at, right? I don't want the AB stuff, right? I want the C and D stuff. I feel comfortable there. I need a property management that feel comfortable there in that type of environment, that understands the working poor, that understands that somebody moving in these neighborhoods, they not gonna come in with a 720 credit score. You know, some of these guys, these tenants, they don't know what to do. Like, yo, the credit score is 580, but yo, bro, as long as they got job stability, all right, and as long as they got no evictions in the last 5 years, give them a chance. All right, I grew up in that environment. Some people, they might not pay everybody else, but they're gonna pay their rent. All right, and they'll get to everybody else when they can. All right, so you have to have property management that understand that. So if you in C and D neighborhoods, you need property management companies that have rentals in that particular neighborhood. If you in A and B, then you might want something that those neighborhoods. And let me tell you about the A and B. Everybody think, oh, the upper class is better. Man, okay. You get a class rental. What you gonna find is that, yeah, they pull up there with a BMW to the rental and they don't pay their rental time. That's how they got the BMW. All right. Yeah, they want to look good, but they don't pay you one time. All rentals gonna have this. You're gonna have the same problems. All right, just different classes. Okay, so just don't think that one is better than the other. You know, and with those luxury rental markets, once you start competing with luxury rentals in the single family space, you got them paying $3,500 a month for your joint, right? What you gonna realize after 1 year, they realize they can go buy a house, and they leaving after 1 year. For rentals to make sense, right? Because your highest expense is turnover. You want, right? What you want tenants that's going to stay there 5 to 7 years. All right? You want tenants that's going to be there for at least 5 to 7 years. If you got a tenant and you screen them and they jumping every year, they getting a new spot, man, you might want to decline them, or your property manager might want to decline them. But these are things that you have to know, because these will destroy your cash flow. So for example, right? Hear me out. Let's say that you making $500 a year, right? $500 a year your cash flow. They stay 1 year. That's $6,000, all right, that you made for the year. But now you gotta redo the spot. All right, you gotta redo the spot, and now the redo the spot is $6,500. All right, you lost 1 year of cash flow. 1 year of cash flow, bro. So imagine if you getting a $200 joint, like, you lost 3 years of 3+ years of cash flow. So make it make sense, right? So make sure y'all check out this video next to me, man. All right, Bob Back to Block. I'm Nasa, aka the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer, because I actually do this business. Peace.